Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see what the game has for me today. We've got Brawler, which we've done already, and Loud. Well, I've certainly been looking forward to this run. Loud is one of my absolute favorite characters, always a really enjoyable run, and I think will work pretty well no matter what weapon we get, so let's just roll here and see what the game decides to give us. Alright, we've got submachine gun, so this is actually slightly more difficult than it might look at first. Obviously, SMG is really powerful, Loud's super powerful, so I'm not saying this is a hard run, but it's not as easy as you might imagine, because SMG is kind of nerfed on Abyssal Terrors because of the Mantis Shrimp that have the damage reduction. And when there's a lot of them on the field, that can add up to putting you under threat. I'm still not that worried about this run, but it is worth noting that it is a little bit more difficult than this same run would be on Crash Zone. I'm going to take the harvesting here, and then I will lock the lumberjack shirt. I think that's going to be good enough, and then we'll roll. Sharp bullet, obviously amazing find for the Loud, so feeling pretty good about this one. Great with SMGs, which don't have inherent piercing, and we need AoE damage, so that's excellent. And then let's roll. Get another couple submachine guns if we can find them. All right, great start to this run. Let's see if we can keep it up. So as you can see, those guys take less damage from my SMGs, so it takes a little bit longer to kill them than other enemies. And if we let a lot of them spawn and don't have enough base damage on our SMGs, that can make them take a long time to kill the enemies on the field, and that can put you in a little bit of danger if you're not careful. Made 59 materials on the first wave, so I picked up that harvesting because even though we do lose harvesting every wave, so the harvesting is less valuable than normal because it's just going to disappear and won't grow as much, getting the wave 1 harvesting still a lot of extra materials, so it's usually worth it. I'm going to roll here, and I will pick one more harvesting. This actually decreases our speed of losing harvesting, because when you have positive harvesting at the end of a wave, you gain at a minimum of 1. So when we have 4 harvesting, we're going to lose 3 and then gain 1. So we will keep positive harvesting for a little bit longer. I'll take the ranged damage here. SMG mostly scales with flat ranged damage, so that's the most important stat for us to find. I am 1 material short of being able to reroll for another one, but still feeling pretty good about this with 5 submachine guns. Obviously, whatever weapon we roll on the Loud is going to be fun, but this, of course, is one of the most fun runs, I think, in the game. Just, you get to watch this, like, fire hose of bullets spray down all the enemies. It's just very satisfying visually, the Loud with SMG, so really looking forward to this run. I will say, the Loud is one of the few, like, relatively easy runs that we have remaining, I think. A lot of the remaining runs, and this is just sort of how the randomness has worked out, are some of the most difficult. We still have King, we have Captain, we have Diver is going to be really difficult as well. There's a couple really challenging runs left that we could easily lose. I'm going to max out my weapon set here, and we'll take Sharp Bullet. That's just going to help with wave clear. Oh, actually, can I buy all of them? I can. So didn't need to plan out which one I wasn't going to buy. I'll lock the leather vest, and then we're going to roll here. I'm looking for more submachine guns if possible, but also just as much damage as we can possibly get. We do need... I want to get to the point where we just tear through an elite, because this character does need to invest pretty heavily in damage to clear these waves, and so will be a little bit behind in defensive stats, not compared to a normal character, but just compared to the number of enemies on the field. So you can, again, get in a little bit of trouble if you let yourself get overwhelmed by an elite plus a bunch of other enemies. Also, because we have increased enemy spawns, there is a chance that we get multiple curse aliens with each of these curse alien spawns, and in fact we got the maximum possible for wave 4. We got 4 curse on wave 4, so Loud gets that benefit as well on Abyssal Terrors, where you can get extra curse more easily. Again, we just want flat damage when you attack this frequently. The more of that you have, the better. We'll take our defensive stats here, buy some damage. We'll take Baby Gecko because, of course, we're a ranged build. I could build knockback. I guess I have a bunch of negative knockback from the sharp bullet and the mutation, so I'm not going to build coil. This would be kind of fun if we got a lot of knockback with our submachine guns. It could push enemies around a lot, which would just be very funny. But I think we're going to focus. We're not going to buy something that doesn't do anything for us. The 4 curse paying off immediately with a great curse item, and I will take the alien worm. I do just want to increase my max HP, which is very low right now. So far, I would say pretty much the only thing we're missing for this to be like the actual perfect run is something like a fertilizer. But right now, we've just found, and maybe a bag, we've just found pretty much everything this character wants. We have tons of flat ranged damage. We found a sharp bullet on like wave 3, which is just incredible. So definitely some real luck in this run. Hopefully I don't mess it up. The trick here is gonna be to not become overconfident, because of course this is a very powerful run, but still losable. I need to make sure not to do that. I'm going to buy some attack speed here. Getting a little bit of attack speed on SMGs actually goes a long way because of an animation thing. So if you get even a little bit, it increases their damage output a lot, because the listed attack speed sometimes interacts weirdly with the animations of the weapons. And then here I will take some maximum health. We will pick up a submachine gun. We'll buy the hedgehog. Turret I'm going to pass on. I'm just going to roll for more core stats, and I'll take the propeller hat as well. Peaceful Bee, I don't think I care that much about the Peaceful Bee. It does decrease my... we don't mind building dodge, but decreasing my range damage is just not something that I want to do, so I'll buy another submachine gun. And even though it does cost me some attack speed, base ranged damage, flat damage, is so important to submachine guns, again, because they attack so quickly, so you apply your base damage so frequently, that scope is still very good on this weapon. Also, when we have Pierce, range is more effective. It's still not something that I'm going to be prioritizing, but when you have Pierce, having more range means more chances for the piercing shot to actually hit a second enemy. My next goal is just to get a decent amount of max HP and some lifesteal, because right now, without any way to heal, when I take some of these hits, and it is still kind of tough for us not to take hits because there's the pufferfish, there's a lot of slashing enemies, so there's a lot of enemies that don't just die to our SMGs, or produce projectiles that don't just die to our SMGs, that can still be pretty dangerous for this character. I don't really need HP regen. I'd much rather have lifesteal, so I'll just take 1 ranged damage here, and then we will keep upgrading our SMGs. Defective steroids I actually could consider, because a 2 HP for 38 is not horrible when you're at this low max health, but I think we can do better. I'll take the Lost Duck. Blindfold I'll grab as well, mostly for the dodge. We're going to pass on the knot, of course. I definitely want to upgrade these. But the crit chance, even though we only crit for 1.5x, we attack so often, the crit chance has a lot of chances to apply, so can still be good for the submachine gun. Gentle Alien's great. That obviously gives us more money from having more enemies on the field, and more damage, which we want, and of course more HP, which we want as well. Baby Elephant, I think we'll pass on. I'm really just going to focus on my weapon damage for this run. We might do some luck-based stuff later on, but I'm kind of living in a little bit of fear here. I know I always say play to win, don't play to lose, but this is such a powerful run and it started so well. I'm like, it would be so embarrassing if this is the one where I lost my win streak. So we're going to try to keep our play a little bit tighter for this run and just make sure we actually get the win here. It would be very funny if this is the one that I lost on after 50 straight wins. You can see how much money we're making every wave, of course. That's just having more enemies on the field. We'll take the mutation, and then 3 more flat ranged damage is perfect, and then here 3 armor, also perfect. Getting our character some defensive stats is awesome. Take the blindfold, we'll take the leather vest. Again, I'm not going to do goofy stuff like elemental damage with the scared sausage. Just not that much damage, so while it could be fun, I don't think it's very good. Insanity will still be a damage increase for us, and can help us potentially build around Hunting Trophy or Tentacle if we find those, so I think that is still worth buying. Pumpkin is good because we already have the Sharp Bullet, so we'll take that, and we'll lock an Injection. Gummy Berserker, I don't really want. Decreasing my armor does not seem good. A lot of times you'll see people say that you can't ever build crit chance on SMG because it has a lower crit multiplier. And while that is certainly something to consider and important to consider, a lot of the value of critical hit damage is not just in the damage. The damage, of course, is the most important thing, but also the ability to build the crit synergy items, which are very powerful, is very relevant as well. So having some crit chance, which is good for increasing your damage output, and also gives you access to something else very powerful, can often be good, even if the damage is lower than you might get from a different item. Here, yep, more range damage is perfect, and I'm very happy to take a +9 HP upgrade. Having very low HP is kind of the only thing that was putting us in danger, though of course we're still going to take additional damage from the injection, even at the cost of max health. By this level 3 SMG, we'll take the mutation, and then we're going to roll. Celery tea, so I'd be going into wave 10. That's a lot of XP gain. I definitely want this. I'm going to buy this, and that's a lot of XP gain if I can clear the wave in wave 10, but I think our damage is high enough that we will actually be able to kill the enemies in wave 10 with the celery tea. This is a little risky, but I think will be worth it. And then I'm going to roll and lock another mutation. I was hoping for a leveled gun there, or just like an HP item, but the mutation, of course, is going to be excellent also. Wave 10 has a lot of enemies on it, and so can be a little tricky for the Loud sometimes, just because you have to kill a ton of enemies. And with the Celery Tea, we're going to make that a lot harder, which does make it a little bit more dangerous going into the next wave. But I feel like we've found so much additional damage. We have like +10 range damage already, which is what this character needs the most. Or what this weapon needs the most, that I think will be fine, and then can benefit from getting a couple extra levels next wave. If you can clear the enemies on the wave where you buy Celery Tea, you do get a lot of extra XP, because you get the extra experience for that wave. Typically, I think most characters are better off avoiding that item. It will often cost you more than it gives you, just by not killing enemies that wave, but for this character where we're already very strong, I think it's fine. I could take 7 crit chance, but I feel like we can do better. I'm going to reroll here, and I'm just going to take damage. The 9 dodge or 2 armor would also be really good, but I want to make sure we have the damage to clear next wave. And then I'm going to roll past that range. Here, I'll just take the 6 dodge, though. We can start building that. Let's buy all of this stuff, and then roll. Penguin, I don't think we care about. I do have no lifesteal still, which is definitely concerning me a bit. I'll take the treasure map. I'm going to lock Stone Skin, although that costs me 6 attack speed and puts us back below positive attack speed, so that will actually decrease our damage more than it looks like, again, because of that animation issue. 10 HP when we only have 37 is just so much, so I really want to buy that. And we'll take the Cyclops Worm. I think I'd rather have the Cyclops Worm this wave, so we can clear the wave better, and then we'll lock the lure for next wave. The loot aliens we should still be able to kill even on the elite wave. So yeah, you can see we're taking a little longer to kill these enemies because of the Celery Tea. Definitely is challenging for us. Need to pick up these consumables. Because I haven't found any lifesteal, unless I've passed some without noticing, we are still a little bit low on healing, which is not usually an issue that an SMG build will have. Lifesteal is typically, you only need like 3 to 5% on your SMG build before you have effectively infinite HP, because you attack so frequently. All right, I am starting to think that the celery tea was a bad idea because it meant that I couldn't kill these blobfish without unleashing a lot of really high health lampreys, which would have been quite dangerous. So it actually cost me a bunch of curse as well. So yeah, celery tea remains just not a great item most of the time and should have been avoided there as well. Let's reroll, and I'm going to take the attack speed because I want to stay at positive attack speed. The lifesteal would be good as well, but we're about to reduce our attack speed. Take the armor, take the stone skin and lure. Ugly tooth we don't care about, we just want to kill enemies. I'm going to pass on the wisdom as well because I want to burst down the elite as quickly as possible. I don't want to reduce my damage at the start of the wave. And the ritual here is excellent. That gives us lifesteal and a little bit of damage, so really good for our submachine guns. Cursed Gummy Berserker, probably worth grabbing, and we'll take the bat. Now with 4% lifesteal, we've got... this doesn't look like a lot of sustain, but we're an SMG build, so it's a lot more than it looks like. Alright, this is a fairly difficult elite for us to fight, just because it charges around all over the place, but I think we should be able to kill it pretty quickly, and that will be fine. Our damage output is very, very good, so this elite should die quite fast. And we did, in fact, kill it. Also cleared the loot alien, and we'll get another one here. Maybe even a few more. They said that they changed it so that lure is no longer affected by increased enemy spawns for the number of loot aliens it spawns, which is a bad change, by the way. I really disagree with that change. But also, I'm not sure that it's working, because often when I play the Loud, I still get like 3 or 4 loot alien spawns after buying lure. So hopefully it's just broken because that was just a cool mechanic and they should have left it in the game. Doesn't look like we're getting a third one, though. That's a lot of armor to lose. So this is wave 11. We would be losing 9 armor, effectively, if I took the ashes here for 20% damage, 20 attack speed, and 100 range. I just don't want to lose 9 armor. It just puts us in so much more danger than if we don't take that item. And then we'll take the heavy bullets. Obviously, this is going to be excellent for 5 range damage. Bowler hat as well. We can still use these economy stats even relatively late. I'll take the 15 attack speed. We can still benefit from attack speed on our SMGs, and we'll take the Gummy Berserker. Mutation. Power Generator, currently negative, but we're going to buy move speed pretty aggressively, so we're going to pick that up soon. Take the Pumpkin, and that actually brings us to not much piercing damage. We have reduction. We have plus 10, so we're actually piercing for more than 50%. I'll roll here. The Whetstone, this is exactly what we want to help us sustain. Ritual, of course, is great as well. We have currently positive elemental damage, so I'll buy the Frozen Heart. It also opens up the potential to buy Ice Cube or something, or to buy Ice Cube if we find that later. Having gotten past the first elite wave, and gotten past the wave where I bought Celery Tea and put myself in danger for no reason, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. So I believe we've won 50 of these, plus the bonus run where I did Technomage twice. And there are only 12 characters remaining. So 50 in a row, plus the remaining 11 characters after we finish this one. We'll see if we can hit the full 62 win streak. I'm still not convinced that we will, just because so many of the most difficult characters have somehow ended up at the end. But it would be really exciting, and, you know, getting a 50 in a row, I'm still pretty happy with. So here, we're not going to buy the Celery Tea. We saw that that did not work out last time, so I'm just going to recycle it. And the eye patch, more piercing shots with... We do have negative crit chance now, because I've actually reduced it quite a bit. But I'm going to take the eye patch just because it's fun. And let's take some more attack speed. We're just going to keep attacking really fast. Now we're going to get greedy with the Starfish. This is definitely a little bit dangerous, but Starfish is just so much fun and worth so much money for this character that I want to pick it up. Small fish, of course, will help us kill things even faster, so we definitely want those. Glad I didn't take the celery tea, because if I had, I probably would have had to pass the starfish, because an increased enemy damage and increased enemy health in the same wave is pretty dangerous. But, of course, starfish is even better for the loud. We don't have economy based on harvesting. And all our economy just comes from the sheer number of enemies that we're killing. So, having those enemies drop more materials is extremely valuable for us. Also, because we've built a lot of curse on this character, the way that enemy material drops work is it's not dropping 20% more materials, it's dropping materials 20% more frequently. So a lot of cursed enemies will sometimes just not drop materials when you kill them, because as waves go on, enemies get an increasing chance to just drop no materials, and that can cost you a lot of money because those cursed aliens were worth a lot. Having starfish prevents that from happening, so ends up giving you a lot more than just a 20% increase in your income. I'm going to take the range damage here. I do want to continue to increase our damage. We'll upgrade our SMG, take the small fish. I don't have any structures right now, so we're going to pass on improved tools. Mouse, of course, we're going to grab. That's exactly the stats we need. And warrior helmet, great as well. Hedgehog, also excellent. We've managed to get plus 28 range damage, which is awesome. Really happy to see a leveled SMG here. And even this late, I'm going to buy a Scar, because we have a Horde wave coming up, and we're the Loud, so we're killing a lot of enemies. The increased XP gain is still really quite valuable for us. We probably could have taken the Ashes and been just fine, obviously, because losing 9 armor is a real cost, but we're very, very strong. But I just didn't think it was worth the chance that I just, walk into 2 boss attacks and just lose. As I said, it would be shameful. It would bring shame upon my household if I lost this run, so I'm gonna try not to. We'll still do some goofy things, though. Killing that tree and getting a box out of it, that's great. And you can see why I say that this run is not as easy on Abyssal Terrors as it would be on Crashstone, because all of those Mantis Shrimp, especially the cursed one, they absorb a lot of damage. Even though we've increased our base damage a lot, they still take a lot of shots with submachine guns to kill. Take the guard in there, and then I'm going to take some move speed. Right now my move speed is negative, so I want to improve that. And then the cursed SMG will get to a level 4. We'll combine here. I'll take the alien magic as well. Yeah, 218 for 8 health I think is fine. And then the duct tape, because I'm going to lower my health, but now we've got 16 armor. We'll take the gentle alien. Sad tomato. I could pick this up. We will lifesteal back to full very quickly, so this is just a pretty efficient amount of additional regeneration. So I think sad tomato is fine. It's certainly not something that I'm... Like, we could buy it or pass it. It wouldn't make a huge difference to the run, but just giving us the option to regen a little bit if we start getting under pressure and having to run away from enemies, I think is still pretty good. Again, we're just trying to figure out the ways in which I could lose this run. That's where we're just obliterating all the enemies. So I just need to figure out ways where I could somehow throw this run and try to play around those. This wave is starting to get a little bit dangerous, though, because there's so many enemies on the field, but our extra piercing shots that we have are making a pretty big difference. I need to pick up some of these materials, because what's happening is all the materials are combining into the ones that are on the ground, and so our baby geckos are not working. So we're actually going to leave, like 250 materials on the ground, which is pretty funny. I'll take the muscly dude, just 5 HP, that's fine, and then we'll take 12% damage because I need more damage, range damage because I need more damage, buy both of these items, and then roll. Barnacle, we will probably get 3 or 4 more levels before the end of the run, so the Barnacle will be pretty good. Then we're gonna roll here. Coil, still not great. I'm gonna buy the SMG, and I'm gonna roll past the Lucky Charm. Luck, I think at this point I just don't need that much anymore. I don't want to reduce my damage. And we will roll here. Focus we're taking. Cursed Gentle Alien, of course, we're taking. And Small Magazine we're definitely taking. And for 35, I'll throw in one more reroll. I'd love to get more geckos or a Sift's Relic, something like that. That would be a really big deal for this character as well. Gotta pick up a bunch of materials here. If I leave materials on the ground this wave, then we're actually losing money wave over wave, so I need to pick up as many of those as I can. Now that we've picked up the banked materials, we're fine. But increased pickup radius would be great. Increased material grab, like geckos or Sift's Relic, would be excellent as well. The increased enemy spawns are just giving us so much curse on wave 16 here, because we're getting all these curse aliens spawning. And so we made 1,000 materials and also gained like 10 curse that wave. Take the injection here. I'm going to take the 4% lifesteal, and then... Do I want 5 armor or 5 ranged damage? I think just more damage. Just killing the elites as fast as possible, I think, is going to be the thing that keeps us alive the best. Banner, I don't mind increasing my range, so we'll pick up the banner here, and then Retromation's Hoodie with Cursed Retromation's Hoodie. That's incredible. So now I can build dodge, and we will get 1,000,000 attack speed off that dodge as well. Really happy there. For 36 with a great item locked, we don't need to reroll. Alright, so any dodge I find is just awesome now. Again, getting a lot of curse, just because every time these curse aliens spawn, there's a chance multiple of them spawn, because of how increased enemy spawns work. And we have a lot of increased enemy spawns, so we are able to get a ton of curse. And then that curse, of course, gives us more value. Now we're out of the... There wasn't really a difficult part of this run, but we're out of the more difficult part of this run where we're dealing with the mantis shrimp and stuff, because now our damage is just so high, everything's dying immediately. Recycle Cute Monkey, of course, because we don't want to lose ranged damage, and then we'll just take more damage here. I still don't want Candle. Reducing the number of enemies, even when it's cursed, is not something that is on my agenda. We'll buy another SMG. Definitely not taking the knot. I'll take the missile. Just more damage of any kind is exactly what we want. And more movement speed, even at the cost of crit chance, I do think I need, because my movement speed is actually very low. That's one of the few stats that we are struggling with right now. And then I think I will pass on the Shady Potion. I'm not going to buy more luck. We can just focus on purely on damage and defense. Especially because if I find dodge, then that dodge is also damage, since it gives me attack speed in huge amounts off the Retromation's Hoodie. This wave is actually taking a little more attention than I was expecting, just because there's so many projectiles on it, and it is Abyssal Terrors and enemies are cursed, so even though I have a ton of HP and armor and whatever, every time we take a hit, it's a lot of damage. So I'm actually having to do a little more dodging than I was expecting, just because of the sheer number of enemies. With the pufferfish, of course, we have a ranged weapon, so they burst and create a lot of projectiles. Recycle that. We will take the fertilizer. So I guess we get the fertilizer tick on just wave 19. So yeah, we recycle that. I'll take the claw tree, positive crit chance, because why not? And then let's re-roll. Here I'm actually just going to take 60 range, just because we have the piercing shots and the range is kind of fun. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to buy Cyclops Worm, but the 60 range just seemed like a lot for making it us able to pierce through more enemies. I'm still not going to buy glasses either. Let me re-roll. We will upgrade our submachine gun, buy a metal plate, and roll again. And I don't care about any of this. We'll roll one more time. The bag, we're probably not getting value out of the bag because we only have 25 luck. So we're just not that likely to generate crates. But I'm curious if it pays for itself. So I'm going to buy it and just see what happens. Bag is definitely not the optimal purchase there, but I'm just kind of having fun with it at this point. No crate out of that tree. There's a lot of enemies, so we should have a decent chance of getting crates, but because I have been passing on luck, so I have not prioritized luck at all, our chance of dropping crates is much lower than with most characters that I would build. Most of my characters at this point would have much higher luck. Alright, that's one crate, so I think the bag is going to be worth 15 materials that we spent 60 on. So, not even close to paying for itself. Which we didn't expect it to, but I was just curious. Gotta pick up some of these materials, because we didn't have any material pickup. And so we actually lost 200 materials this wave just by not being able to pick up everything. Let's take 81 range. Now my range is actually really high. So that's kind of fun. We can stay pretty far away from the bosses and still kill them. And then here we are going to pick up the attack speed. Take the fairy for regeneration. I think that will help more than most of these other things. Then we're going to roll again. Warrior helmet, that gives me a lot more safety. So I'm going to grab the warrior helmet and then we'll roll one more time. Glasses, when we have fairy... You know what? We've been buying a little bit of range, so let's just goof around and buy some range here. And we'll take some upgraded weapons as well in order to kill the enemies just that little bit faster. This is a lot of attack speed, so even though it costs me a range damage, it's also 16% attack speed with the hoodie. That's kind of interesting. Let's buy it also because it gives me the regen. First Peacock, that would be pretty fun. And then let's go to wave 20. Alright, how fast can we kill these bosses? Pretty fast is the answer. I like watching the just fire hose of bullets spray out here. And there we go. That's the Loud. Obviously a fairly straightforward run. We were able to clear through everything very quickly. And, you know, I made a couple decisions that were just for fun and a couple decisions that were a little more based in just trying to win. But we did chalk up another one for the win streak. So I believe we're up to 51 now. And the Loud, as always, just a phenomenally fun run. Really love this character. 5 mutations is great. That's really good luck. We actually found a lot of base weapon damage as well. With the amount of damage that we with the amount of early base damage that we found. Like, we found a lens, we found 5 mutations. Of course, the sharp bullet very early is excellent, just an incredible item for us. We only ended up with 33 dodge. The leather vest was good, but not incredible. Funnily enough, even though we're the Loud, we're a very high economy run. This is a lot less money than we would make on Crash Zone, because there's still just fewer enemies on the field, and they take longer to kill. So even with the vastly increased enemy spawns, you still end up a lot weaker on this character on the Abyss than you would on Crash Zone, just because you have less money overall. Treasure map only gave me 2 items, but still obviously very good. But that was because I didn't invest in luck, so we didn't get a lot of crates. We, in fact, got just like the 2 from the lure and then a couple more after finding the treasure map, so it didn't have as much chance to pay off as it usually would. This power generator also did not end up very good. We only had 7% movement speed. What else? Stone Skin was great. We definitely needed that HP at the time that we bought it. The rituals were awesome, always excellent for SMG or slingshot builds. And what else? The Starfish, that was worth a lot of money, of course. The Barnacle, we got 6 levels after, so the Barnacle was definitely worth it as well. It gives you an eclectic mix of stats because it's based on what you select when you level, but it's usually going to give you a lot of raw stats, so the Barnacle was quite good also. The Cursed Retrimation's Hoodie just gave us a ton of attack speed, which was pretty fun. Alright, my friends, hope you've enjoyed that run, and of course, as always, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit the like button. Helps me out a ton with the algorithm. We're getting closer and closer to finishing the full 62 with random weapons. And, of course, as always, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends, and I will catch you next time.